You know what they say about Cape Town's weather, right? It's like a baby. If it's not wet, then it's windy. And then it's not cold also. It's very rare when you mention a car manufacturer's name that it immediately resonates with every petrol head out there. One such manufacturer has reached, well, dare I say, even cult status when it comes to the likes of rallying, car culture, in movies, and even video games, and many, many more. And today, I get to experience its latest addition to its lineup, which kind of doesn't fit into any one of those categories at all. But it is carving its very own path.
This is the new Subaru CrossTrek IS. And if it looks a little familiar, well, then you're correct.
You see, the last time we saw this car, it looked, well, a little different, and it was called the XV. Now it's been tweaked and trimmed, and it's now called the CrossTrek, which kind of makes sense as, well, XV was just not Subaru-ish like. I mean, they have the Outback and they have the Forester, and XV for me was just, well, a little bit meh. Oh, and yeah, the correct way to say it is Subaru. Not Subaru, but Subaru. Got it? Took me a while too. But we can still call it a Scooby. Anyhow, let me just tell you what's new on this new Subaru CrossTrek IS.
Even though it doesn't look like it, there's quite a few changes made to both the front and rear lights as well as the bumpers, and there is a new 3D styled grille. There are also some other minor cosmetic changes like the door handles are now color coded, but the ones that clearly stand out
are found on the inside, and it starts right here with this portrait style mounted 11.6 inch touchscreen display, which is very simple and easy to use. The menus are simple and not complicated. Everything is just visible and available there for you. And for those who like buttons, it's got buttons. It's got buttons for the volume knobs, it's got for the air conditioning controls, and you can even control that directly from the screen as well. So yeah, it works. It has smartphone integration with wireless charging and wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. It then also has USB ports. It's got both USB-A and USB-C, and it even has a 3.5mm jack in there, which I don't know who uses it anymore, but it's there. It's got a 12-volt power socket, cup holders in the front, electronic braking. It's got a whole bunch of features, which leads me to one of the coolest things that I really like. It uses a intelligent infrared LED and camera system to do facial recognition. So the driver's seat's electronically adjustable, right? But now imagine you drive it, you get out, somebody else drives it, adjusts the seat, then you get back in. Now instead of you having to press memory 1 or 2, the car scans your face, knows that it's you, and then adjusts the seat accordingly. And then it's also got another cool feature. It's, again, an example. Let's say you are standing at a traffic light and you're doing your makeup or your hair, like I tend to kind of try and get this all right, and the cars drive off. It recognizes the car's moved and it will tell you, hey, your car's moved. It will even tell you while you're busy driving and you might not be paying attention by maybe fiddling with the radio or looking somewhere else along the road. It tells you to pay attention to it, and I really like that. That's really cool intelligent systems.
In the rear, there is seating for 3, but it's more suitable for 2. There is decent enough leg room, but if you're really tall, like giant tall, headroom might be a little limited, but it's not bad at all. ISOFIX points for car seats are included, as well as cup holders in the center armrest and 2 USB charging points.
Okay, let's hit the road. But first, I gotta tell you that this car does have a little bit of a split personality, but I'll explain all of that in a couple of moments. Under the bonnet, you get the same 2-liter 4-cylinder naturally aspirated boxer engine that you got from the previous generation. It produces 115 kilowatts and 195 Newton meters of torque. Now, yes, I know those numbers may not sound overwhelming, but you got to remember that this is a compact crossover. It's not a supercar. But what is really important when it comes to this car is how it feels on the road. And this Subaru CrossTrek IS, well, it surprises me every single time that I drive it. That split personality that I mentioned a few seconds ago, well, you see, it is because this car, it kind of looks like a hatch, but it isn't a hatch. And however, it is as composed and as driven as well as what, well, some hot hatches should actually be able to. But it's not a track monster, and it's not trying to be a straight line pocket rocket. The steering in this car is well weighted, and the suspension, and just the way it strikes a really good balance between both comfort and agility. It feels planted and it feels confident through corners, allowing you to, well, just push it through one, confidently without being nervous at all. And that's all because of Subaru's legendary all-wheel drive system. This thing, it sticks to the road like glue. And you can take it on the unbeaten path if need be, like a proper, off-roader, which it's also not trying to be. So the question is, in this case, what is it then? Well, it's kind of an adventure companion, if I can put it that way. It's made for those people who enjoy escaping, the city life and just going outside, venturing outdoors, hitting the trails and, just going outside. I mean, it comes with improved ground clearance, it's got protective body cladding, it's got various off-road driving modes, features like its X mode, it's got hill descent, and that X mode allows you to be able to take it inside of the snow and mud and all kinds of other off-roady type of terrain. It's got a sports mode, and it's got a smarter intelligence driving system that will help you just, do things a whole lot better, which means it can handle both the normal road and off-road terrain with ease, and that's where it really shines. It has loads and loads of safety tech built into it as standard as well. It's got a rear view camera, lane keeping assist, it's got a front view 360-degree camera that even allows you to, see if you're going off-road where you're placing your front wheels to make sure that you can do it properly. And it's got a sunroof and a whole bunch of other cool stuff as well. Is there anything that I can really fault this car on? And to be quite honest with you, you have to really go looking for it. Like, something that I find kind of quirky is the wing mirrors, the side mirrors here. It reminds me of an old Mark 1 Golf because it sits so far forward, but they work perfectly. The boot, compared to a lot of its competitors, is very small. It's only got 340 liters, but you can put the rear seats down, then you get 1,000 liters of space. The only thing that really kind of puts me off is the CVT gearbox. And here's the funny thing though, it's not that there's anything wrong with this gearbox, it's just I just don't like CVT gearboxes because they're kind of whiny. But this one isn't. It's really smooth and quiet during lower speeds. It does get a bit loud when you go into higher speeds when you need to overtake. Sounds like you're kind of straining the engine, but trust me, this engine can definitely handle it. But it's not whiny at all like any one of the other boxes, and it works really, really well with this asymmetrical all-wheel drive system from Subaru. Which then leads to the big question, who is this car for? And that answer is fairly simple. If you're a person who wants a comfortable, practical crossover that can handle your daily needs and even your occasional off-road excursion, then absolutely this car is for you. Yes, the new CrossTrek IS is a lot more expensive than the one that it replaces. It comes in at 669,000 Rand, but it does give you a 5-year, 150,000 kilometer warranty and a 75,000 kilometer 3-year maintenance plan that you can extend it whichever period you want it to be as well. Look, this car might not be the most luxurious option out there and might not even the most powerful one, but it has a hell of a lot of character compared to a lot of its competitors out there. This is quite a very, very good car.